Long after the end of the war in Vietnam, there are still thousands of homeless refugees in Southeast Asia. They live in camps in Asian countries which have granted them temporary asylum. For those refugees who qualify for resettlement in the United States, the Overseas Refugee Training Program helps them prepare for the transition from the camps to new lives in America. The program was established in 1980 by the Bureau for Refugee Programs of the U.S. Department of State, which contracts with various organizations to develop and carry out the training in Southeast Asia. Most of the training is being conducted at refugee camps in Panat Nakhon, Thailand, and Bataan, Philippines. In Thailand, the program is operated by the Experiment in International Living, Save the Children Federation, and World Education. In the Philippines, this is done by the International Catholic Migration Commission and World Relief Corporation. The Bureau for Refugee Programs also funds cultural orientation at several sites in Europe for major groups of Eastern European refugees. Since 1982, small programs of cultural orientation have also been offered to refugees from Africa. The Refugee Service Center, operated by the Center for Applied Linguistics in Washington, D.C., provides assistance to the training program. RSC Publications help staff at the training sites keep up with factors affecting refugees in the United States. The center provides useful information to people working with refugees in America and has conducted tracking studies in the United States to follow the progress of younger refugees. The program is constantly evolving. Surveys of American teachers, social workers, and refugees aid in designing curricula for the refugees. How effective is the training? Cal testing has shown that the students are learning and that what they're learning is giving them a head start in resettlement. The broad goals of training for the U.S.-bound refugees are teaching English, explaining and showing what life in America will be like, and helping refugees prepare for finding a job and becoming self-sufficient. The program coordinators in Southeast Asia are mostly American. Most of the classes, however, are taught by Philippine and Thai teachers. Although not native speakers of English, the host country nationals are trained language teachers with advanced English skills. They also share cultural similarities with the refugees and play a key role in helping them adjust to life in the camp. You are going to see the training as it is given in the camps, and you will meet the Americans and Asians who work together to make it happen.
The goal of the ESL program is to prepare the refugees with skills in survival English for when they first arrive in the United States.
Okay, good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Okay, Joseph is teaching a unit on transportation, which, as you can imagine, is very important to a newly arriving refugee to the United States, one who cannot afford to buy a car immediately.
Schedule is there are some things that you have to know about what? About what? About time. About time. What else? Place. About place. What do you see here? New York bus schedule. Again? New York bus schedule.
On Sunday, the bus leaves at 8 p.m. At 1 p.m.
1 p.m. Yeah. On Sunday, the bus leaves at 1 p.m.
We use a competency-based curriculum. The competencies are agreed upon by and used by all of the refugee camp ESL programs.
The three components of the program, language, culture, and orientation to the workplace, overlap in many of the classes.
We actually spend quite a bit of time on employment, not only in the ESL component, but in the cultural orientation part of the program as well as the pre-employment training.
Part-time job as a cook.
I'm looking for a part-time job. Yes, I suppose.
I go to school in the morning.
I go to school in the morning.
Why don't you look at the newspaper ad?
Why don't you look at the newspaper ad?
Very good.
I am looking for a job. What kind of job are you looking for? I am looking for a part-time job as a cook. I go to school in the morning.
What kind of job looking for?
Repeat.
What kind of job looking for?
Repeat. What slowly?
What kind of job looking for? Are you looking for? What kind of job are you looking for?
Good. Quickly.
What kind of job are you looking for?
Okay, please look here. Go to number 174 of your worksheet and let's get ready to begin.
In addition to regular classrooms with teachers, students also have the opportunity to use modern language labs.
2 digits of your zip code. What would be the first 2 digits of your zip code?
The cultural orientation program's goal is to provide basic survival skills and information for refugees prior to going to the U.S. We present the information in the native language so that they can, when they go to ESL class, they can put the English language into its cultural context. For example, in ESL class, they would learn how to use a telephone, the language involved in making an appointment. Whereas in the CO class, we would teach them all the background information about how to purchase a phone, the importance of paying your bills on time, things like that.
Thank you very much. I hope you have an enjoyable flight. Get ready for takeoff.
The airplane simulation is taught after the students have learned some basic information in class. They know approximately what to do. So the point of the simulation is for the students to apply the skills they've learned in the classroom in a somewhat realistic situation. We give the students a lot of particular problem situations to see if they're able to solve them. So it's basically a review, but applying skills they've learned in the classroom.
This is a cultural orientation class in Panatnikom. They're discussing American currency, and the teacher is beginning with a currency with which they're all familiar, and that is Thai money. She'll begin with a comparison of the bills in Thai, the different colors and the sizes and the numbers, and then move into American money, which is much more confusing for people because all of the bills are the same size and the same color. They're studying American currency for a couple of days, and then we'll move into studying about shopping in America, shopping for food, shopping for clothing, including actual simulations of stores in America. That's why they're having the practice with money first.
Work orientation helps refugees understand the world of work.
Work experience.
It does not prepare them for a specific job, but rather helps them assess their own work experience.
What did you do in Vietnam?
Làm cái gì ở Việt Nam?
I was a mechanic in Vietnam.
You were a mechanic.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can repair distributor.
Students learn general workplace skills, how to find and keep a job in the United States, and how to communicate with American employers and co-workers.
Okay. I see. You work as a tailor in Vietnam, is that right?
We try to integrate the learning of skills and the learning of language and set a cultural context for it all.
Measure the drill bit and the word. Okay, and here is the masking tape.
We make best use of real tools and real materials which people can construct things from. While this is going on, there are a wealth of opportunities for the students to use English. And this is where we feel the PET program is unique in its way to take advantage of those opportunities to help the students use English in a real context. We try to teach people how to ask for help, how to follow instructions, ask for clarification, follow redirection.
How many holes did you make? 4, okay. Pick up 4 screws.
CO has a small factory simulation. In that lesson, they apply what they've learned in the previous lesson, working in a factory. They have to follow piecework rules and quality control rules, which means they have to measure and check their measurements. And there are different jobs assigned to different people in the working area, so that one person will be a supply room clerk who is responsible for getting all the materials. Another person is an assembler. Another person is a packer. Another one an inspector. And that's the main idea we're trying to get across, is that when you're working in a factory, you're not a craftsman. You shouldn't take all the time in the world to get things done, but you should work carefully and neatly and quickly.
It should be like this. Put this one here, around this one, pull. Then do this, okay? You have not to connect this.
This class is assembling a lamp. An activity like that tries to put into 3 separate parts: the ESL, the English Second Language, cultural orientation, and the hands-on activities to give them a pride, rebuild their confidence so that when they do go to the States, they have the ability to adjust. From what we can understand, most of the refugees who take this course feel that it's very helpful because they've never been exposed to this sort of thing yet. It's something that they can directly apply when they get to the States.
1, 2, 3. Okay. Plug it. Turn on the light. Oh. Okay.
We try to get the refugee to understand, for one thing, that in America, time is very important. Here in Asia, they have always, probably on the farm, they worked on their own time, and it was from dawn to dusk. They'll be on a time clock when they get to the States. Maybe not a real instrument, but they will be checking in at a certain time.
Young, here is the time of the interview and the place you should go. Okay? It was nice to meet you.
What you really see here is that the refugees do build a pride and confidence that they don't have when they arrive. Living on the border of Thailand for 2 years and barely surviving does not give them much pride in themselves. Here we give them a chance to rebuild their lives.
In 1985, an exciting new program was added to refugee training. This was PASS, Preparation for American Secondary Schools. PASS simulates an American high school. During the school day, the 13 through 16-year-old students move to different classrooms for different subjects. They use hall passes, receive report cards, and participate in extracurricular activities. In addition to teachers and bilingual aides, the staff includes American and Southeast Asian guidance counselors and even a principal.
In many ways, the Indo-Chinese War was started by and fought by adults, and this age group was among the bystanders and the victims, and in many ways they haven't had a very good start in this life. And it's certainly our fervent hope that if there is to be a change for the better and a new start, that it can start with this program.
I studied 3 subjects, and there's one more subject is called extracurricular activity. And the 3 subjects, the first subject for me is English, and then AS, American Study, and then mathematics. And then in extracurricular activity, I study in poetry. Yes, I like poetry very much.
Okay, show me 75 cents. 75 cents. 75 cents. And this one, we have the dime. Dime. Dime.
Dime.
Everybody?
Dime.
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 One syllable only, dime. Now show me a dime. Okay, a nickel. 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 Ah, not yet. Oh, I have not given you yet the nickel. Very good. I'm sorry.
What is he doing?
He's smoking. Don't stop, don't smoke in the bus. Why? It's not gone.
Okay.
I think after all, every parent wishes that his children had a better start and a better chance in life than the mother or the father did.
As time went on, it became apparent that an expanded program was needed for the young children. This led to planning on how best to help the children, ages 6 to 12, many of whom had never been to school, and in 1987 to the start of PrEP, preparing refugees for elementary programs.
The United States, we have here...
In this 18-week program at the Philippine Refugee Processing Center, students learn what school in America will be like.
8, 9, 10. Okay, give me...
They study math and science, social studies, and English.
An unhappy, confused, and lost refugee child is a burden, a difficulty for everyone who works with that child. Our program will, I think, be of great assistance to public school teachers in the United States.
Together. Come to tikung. Come to tikung. Very good. Okay. Here, what are they doing here? Oh, they're taking a bath in the bathroom. Very good.
We're going to make a volcano like that one on the picture. Okay, you shape it into that volcano.
The greater part of the class day is spent on English language units, in which the children learn familiar elementary school topics while learning their new language.
Spews out lava and fire and rocks, stones.
Techniques for helping children acquire language naturally are incorporated into the special training PrEP teachers receive.
Possible for her students. It's good for 6 and 7-year-olds, but it's also good for the older kids.
Teacher training for PrEP has been a crucial element. The PrEP methodologies are very different from those that the Philippine teachers are familiar with.
PrEP's curriculum is based on current principles in elementary education and second language acquisition.
Where's the teacher's table? Oh, yeah, very good. The person who has the picture of of the chocolate drink, jump 5 times. Jump 5 times. Chocolate drink. Jump. 1, 3, 4, 5. Very good.
Language exists to convey meaning. So for us, we deliver the meaning to the child through experience. Everything we teach is connected to experience. We make it real. If we're teaching about food, we cook with the food. The whole language approach is what we use in the program because it puts language in context. The whole language approach basically is trying to teach language and literacy in a natural situation, in a natural setting. Basically, we are involving children in many different types of activities where language is the medium and not necessarily the end. We are not tackling it from a grammar approach, but trying to help children acquire the language by using the language.
Is no pen, no pen. Here's the pen. This cup, the scissor, cup bar, the saucer, the saucer, the glass, the cups. No, this is not the glass. The cup.
Refugee women who are pregnant or who have preschool-aged children face particular difficulties related to education or raising a family in a new culture. The Overseas Refugee Training Program responded to these needs by designing special cultural and work orientation classes for the women.
We know that women who go to the States may not enter the workplace right away, but may have some special needs to know about work, maybe employment in the home or self-employment, and also some special needs related to their children. What about daycare? What about nutrition, safety in the home? And so in that last 6-week period, pregnant women and mothers of preschool-aged children will be grouped together so that they get some special topics added to their work orientation program.
Okay, nobody goes to Manila.
Another group which benefits from special ESL, CO, and WO classes are young adults, ages 17 to 22, a number of whom are Amerasians from Vietnam. Young adults face hard choices when they reach the U.S. Will they find a full-time job, enter a training program, or go to school full-time? Mindful of the problems facing this age group, the Overseas program has designed a course of study that helps young adults explore these options. The curriculum addresses the students' special educational, social, and employment needs. Students compare American customs with those in their own countries and learn about the social roles of young women and men in the United States. The intention is to give these refugees a head start in dealing with the challenges they will face in America. What happens when a refugee leaves camp? What link is there between overseas training and life in America? All refugees, ages 6 to 22, receive profiles outlining their coursework and progress in the camp. American teachers can build on what the student has already learned based on this profile.
All the students here, and I'm so proud of her and what she's been able to achieve.
Good morning, visitors. Good morning, students. Good morning, teacher Philip.
Graduation occurs with the people who are at this English level after 20 weeks of study. And what they are celebrating here is the fact that they'll be going to the States probably within a week, and their ability is that they have now compared to what they came in, they themselves realize is great. And so they feel that they really have something to say thank you for to the program and the people who sponsor it.
To all that you have taught us, we, your students, thank you from the bottom of our hearts.